So event day is coming.
Yeah.
And I just know I need to eat in a way that I've never eaten before. The coffee, I'm going to start drinking coffee, and I'm going to pasta load every night before the Vancouver Sun Run. How about that idea?
So again, you don't need to kind of follow all the trends that are going on. You need to try to individualize it too. So it depends if you're, let's say you're not a big pasta eater, you can find carbohydrate in other foods, right? So the goal would be to load up your muscles with some carbohydrate, with glycogen, so that you're able to perform well during the run, right? You don't need lots of it, especially if it's a 10K, or if it's going to be, you know, an hour or an hour and a half. We don't need lots of carbohydrates, so it could be just a little bit more than what you typically would have, maybe. So dinner could be, again, potatoes. It doesn't have to be pasta, with a little bit of protein, some veggies. Do you need caffeine in the morning? If you don't drink it, you don't need it. Yes, it's going to help stimulate the mental aspect a little bit, but again, it doesn't have to be there if you don't even enjoy it.
Familiarity is important, is it not?
Yes. So you really want to try to keep the foods that you're already eating, and again, focus on getting some carbohydrate, getting some protein, not too much fat, especially the morning of the race, right? So you want to focus on foods that you're used to. They're not new foods.
You've been practicing to this point, so now, remember what you've learned from your practice.
Exactly. So now you've identified the foods that work well with you, and you want to try to have those on race day. So at breakfast, again, usually oatmeal works perfect. A little bit of nuts, maybe a glass of juice or fruit. Eggs can be fine too if they're tolerated. Not eggs and bacon, but mostly eggs. Eggs with toast and an orange, for example, can be another example. It doesn't have to be something drastically new or fancy or trendy. It just
you know, you'll have an adrenaline rush, right? You get a little anxious before an event, and so different things happen in your body, and the way that you react to foods also can have it make a difference.
So you may be a little bit anxious about it, and that can also trigger some stomach upset. So most important, the key tip would be to stick to familiar foods.
Familiar and maybe a little less spicy as well. Make sure you're pretty bland.
So we're not going for chili the night before, or you know, so obviously something that's pretty simple, pretty easy to digest is recommended.
Familiar, keep it simple, stay with the foods that you've been used to eating and practicing with all year.